justice for Dip.
Your boy would have been there like, yeah, you got it.
You did.
Updating breaking news just coming into our newsroom. 2 fugitives wanted by the FBI, including a longtime accused L.A. gang leader, now in custody tonight.
Let's get right to Mark Robles, who joins us now with new developments live in the newsroom. Mark?
Yeah, David and Ellen, good evening. We've been following this story throughout the day. Federal officers arrested more than a dozen members tied to the gang known as the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips, though its leader was on the run. Well, within the last 20 minutes, the FBI announcing that man, Eugene Henley Jr., a.k.a. Big U, is now in custody. We have just learned new details that Henley turned himself in. Earlier, Air 7 was overhead as some of the alleged gang members were being processed at the FBI's LA field office. 19 were indicted. The FBI says Henley headed up the local Crips gang for decades. Investigators say that he painted himself as an entertainment executive who's been giving back to the community with various charities, but they say Henley is a violent criminal. A woman who knew him says that he has had a positive impact on the community.
He was incredible, whether it was a 7-year-old child or a 50-year-old former gang member coming out of incarceration. His ability to communicate and relate was excellent. If these charges are true, because they're still allegations, they are not a done deal. They're allegations. If they're true, then Eugene Henley was somebody who presented 2 faces to this world.
Charges in this gang bust range from racketeering to murder. A second fugitive the FBI was looking for was also apprehended. The FBI says Henley is from the Hyde Park area of South LA. If convicted, he would face a max sentence of life in federal prison. We are told that he should be in court tomorrow. Live in the newsroom, Mark Robles, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. David, back to you.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC 7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel and download the ABC 7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and I was deciding on if I was going to talk about this. I don't like to speak about street business. I don't know the in particulars. What I do know is these niggas are plenty fucking stupid, and this is why on episodes I stress mainly to the youth, because if you like 25 or older, like, you a lost cause. All right, this is why I stress why niggas shouldn't get into gang banging. Like, if you need friends, just have a crew, bro, and do shit legal. We're at the zenith of time where the Crips and Bloods, in my opinion, have ran their course, right? Now, the Crips started off as neighborhood watch organization that was protecting the black populace against corrupt and or dirty racist cops. But since the 80s, the crack cocaine epidemic, and that has a lot to do with the morphing into a criminal enterprise, because when you have cocaine funneled into the neighborhood and it's lucrative to sell cocaine than it is to work a regular job, let's just say that the the cause gets lost and people go from like the original cause to trying to line their pockets. They got to feed their family, right? Like, if the white populace is oppressing the black neighborhoods, cocaine is it's alluring. It's alluring to sell because, I mean, hell, if you know simple mathematics, an ounce costs, I want to say, roughly $7.20. The flip on that is $11.60. You do the math. Hell, if you're selling crack, it's even exponentially higher. So it's like, why would I work a regular job when I could flip this pack? And I used to know dudes that used to slang drugs. They used to make upwards of $3,000-$4,000 a day. So since we know all that, and since all that's transpired in the black community, gangs are useless. They've morphed into criminal enterprises, and then what you have is bullshit like this. Now, if you want my opinion, if Big U is guilty, I'm gonna just say yes, based off of what happened to Nipsey Hussle, when nobody know nothing and the killer don't say why he did it, and he's part of the faction of gang sect that you rep. Like, Eric Holder was actually a part of rolling 60s, neighborhood crip like Nipsey. You don't get killed that close to home and it's just random. Somebody ordered that, and because Buddy ain't talking, that leads me to believe that somebody ordered it, and who else better to order it than a high-ranking leader of the faction, right? Now, it'd be one thing if Nipsey Hussle would have, like, the smart thing that they should have did was pay the opposition to knock him down. But then there's too much risk in that, because then they would have told if they got caught or jammed up. So you pay somebody from the same faction, that still too makes you look guilty. That doesn't make you not look guilty. That makes it look like if I was the feds, everybody in neighborhood crip would have been under investigation, including Cowboy. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm trying to stress is that the gangs are useless now. They morph into shit like this, and I'm a black man trying to do the righteous thing. Yes, I have dabbled in illegal activities. I sold weed, pills, right? Because it was lucrative. I was about the money. I wasn't doing it for shits and giggles. I don't care. I've never been a part of a gang. When I lived on the West Coast in the 90s, right? Seattle to be exact. Now, a lot of people gonna laugh because they like, oh, Seattle, because they know what Seattle is now. It's a ultra gay liberal city. It's a far cry from the 90s when niggas used to gang bang in the Central District. But niggas was putting in work and they wasn't cornies. So, yeah, I grew up around that. I used to get jumped by Bloods, jumped on by, well, let me take that. I ain't gonna go that far. No Crips never kicked my ass, but the Bloods did, because I didn't want to get down with they set. I used to hang out with Crip niggas, and they didn't like them niggas, so when they saw me by myself, it was cracking. In the words of Four Extras, you know what I'm saying, they was getting cracking. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't no punk, but I didn't want to be a part of no gang, so I had to put them up. And then niggas wanted to run the fade, or we run the fade. But I say all that to say, like, I believe Big U did it, because at 55, 56, some shit like that, I don't know, he's in his 50s. You should just be keeping your nose clean. Me personally, I have a problem with black folks that act like keeping their nose clean is a hard feat. You can't masquerade as a music executive. First question is somebody's going to ask you as a business owner, how do you generate money? If you're a former gang member, I think he was released from prison not too long ago, about 10 years ago, roughly. If I might be off, don't kill me on that. But he was released from prison after doing, I want to say 21, 25 years. Bro, how you generating bread? Unless it's criminal activity. Because let's be realistic. If you was a gang member that's 20 some odd years in prison and you release back to the streets, the only thing you can apply for is a mech job, maybe a construction job. That's not enough money to generate to manage a rapper like Nipsey Hussle. It don't even make sense. As far as Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, well, Loose Cannon, I got an episode where he actually was admitting to Big U, or implicating Big U in the murder of Nipsey. He literally said that Big U had called him 30 minutes before Nipsey was killed and said, yo, Nipsey was killed. Loose Cannon turned around and called Nipsey. Nipsey picked up the phone and he said he thought something was off, because, like, why would he say that? And Nipsey was still alive. Subsequently, Nipsey was shot, so they made him believe that Big U had something to do with it. Now, I'm assuming because he was Big U's right-hand man, as he quoted, the reason he turned on him, because I think he was to collect $50,000 from somebody for Big U, but Big U never split the proceeds. So he, on another podcast, he said he didn't fuck with Big U. Subsequently, he went on No Jumper, talking about how Big U had alerted him about Nipsey being shot. He called Nipsey, which I just explained. So yeah, it's a lot of, like, that's another reason. In the words of Tretch, you shouldn't be doing shit with nobody. You do your dirt all by your lonely. That way you ain't got to worry about nobody telling on you. Do I think that Big U has something to do with it? Yes. Do I think Lucci, or Big Loose, or I said Big Loose, do I think Loose Cannon was his right hand man? Yes. The rest of them people, I don't really know them, so I ain't gonna speak on them. And for all you niggas in LA, I'm not speaking on street business. I'm giving commentary as to why gangs, in my opinion, are irrelevant, and this is one. One, people who snitch. Two, boneheads like Big U talk on the phone like it's 1992. He thought turning his cell phone off, like, was sweet. That doesn't matter. They track the coordinates of your phone It don't matter if you turn the phone on. He would have been better off leaving the phone at the house. That's why they're dummies. They don't know. Like, they're too old. He's a part of the payphone era. And niggas that's a part of the payphone era should not be doing crime because they dumb. They don't realize that their phone is a tracking device. And not only that, it's 2025. I think I stated in previous videos, as a black person, there's too many avenues to get paid. Criminal enterprise doesn't necessarily in this day and age need to be one. You can literally make money on it. You got SoundCloud, you got social media, you got websites, you got Google, SEOs. You got a lot of things that can generate money for you. You just got to stay to the grind. But these niggas are so stupid. They only know how to make money the easy way. And I'm not saying street business is actually easy, but being an enforcer and shaking somebody down, it ain't that complicated. Especially when you're like Big U and you every bit of 6 foot, what is he, 6'2", 6'3"? Yeah, and you're muscling the squares. That's another reason he got jammed up. According to Whack 100, he was shaking down squares. You know what I'm saying? One of the little dudes that they was financing the rap songs made a diss song about him. He ended up killing a dude exactly how the dude detailed somebody getting killed with a 38 snub. I don't have that video. It's a lot of them online. You can find it on YouTube. But yeah, like all in all, these dudes are idiots. They're not that smart. Gang banging in itself in 2025, you shouldn't be doing that shit anyway. Ain't nobody loyal to you. You get caught, somebody's gonna tell. They're gonna hit you with a RICO, even if you ain't doing nothing. This nigga over here is doing street business. We're a part of the same set. You get jammed up. It's all convoluted. It's just not worth it. So, and then I stress with black folks, like, realistically, I'm not a gang member. I don't tell people to stay in school and still be doing shady shit. I tell you to stay in school, get a job, get a trade, get a hustle, and that's the stuff that I actually do. So I'm not a hypocrite. I know it gets hard. I have two businesses. I was gonna say 3, but I'm working on the 3rd one. I got 2 businesses functionally, and it's hard sometimes, but you gotta keep your nose to the grind and you gotta put in work and cutting corners, shaking people down, robbing people, sending people to extort people, shaking down entertainers and rappers. That's just dumb. There's like literally. Now, I don't know who. In another video, they said RR was to pay $50,000. That's the money that Lucci didn't get a cut of. And it was another rapper, MM. I'm assuming that's Meek Mills. Like, these dudes dug a hole for themselves. And realistically, as much as I hate and I don't really advocate brothers being locked up in prison, like, some of these fools need to get taken off the street because, like I said in the previous videos, it makes my job harder. I rally against the ignorant segment, the low life, degenerate underworld part of black society, which is not that many people. However, when you talk about black people, or when people talk about black people, they always reference these scumbags. There's more well-to-do black people doing the right thing, struggling, hustling, striving to make means for themselves other than criminal enterprise. But it's jackasses like him that convolute, make my argument harder against non-black people. And it's literally like fighting uphill. You know what I'm saying? It makes my argument harder when I try to tell people, and I have discussions with people about how black people are trying to do the right thing and everybody's not ratchet or on some street shit. And then you got fools like this conducting functional criminal enterprises for well over 13 years. They said this fool's been conducting business since 2008. So we'll say roughly like 16, 17 years, bro. And then the murder of Nipsey Hussle already put me on high alert. I thought he had something to do with it. I still do. I'm not convinced that he doesn't, because Nipsey Hussle and him fell out. He wasn't managing him no more. And to see a young nigga from the same set making more money than you, I think that breeds jealousy and contempt. So then there's that. In any event, I hope I made some type of sense. If you like this episode, you know what to do. Leave it in the comments. If you're a gang member and you see my video, I'm not talking bad about nobody. And realistically, bro, black people don't need to be banging. Y'all niggas ain't never suited up against the Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazis, or any other group. So it's time to just call it a day, bro. It's over. Let it go. Unless you niggas are gonna turn to a black military for the black community, You ain't doing nothing but fighting and killing each other, looking ignorant, making the culture look bad. So it needs to be disbanded. That's just where I'm at with it. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.